Hey everyone, Michelle, back with another spooky Reddit read for you. Our last story that we left off on, which was episode 33, was the part 1 to this. This is Gifford Pinchot National Forest Experience part 2. So if you did not see part 1, this continues on, so you'll need to go back to my last video and watch part 1 and then come back and finish. There are 3 parts to this, so I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. This really sounds kind of interesting. So we pick up where they left off. They were trying to find a place to camp for the night and had found a place finally, because many people were in that situation. It was hard to find a place to pull off. It was very back in the woods, and they started hearing things. So they're still hearing things, and we're picking up from there. The sound was low to the ground, but on the left-hand side of the back of the truck where we were sitting, directly opposite of us, as if it knew where we were, we heard the sound again. And my boyfriend whispered to me that he was pretty sure it was some kind of animal. We heard the sound or something circling the truck, and then everything fell quiet for a while. When everything went quiet, Austin grabbed a thing that you might protect yourself with, and told me to go back with him since we had heard the sound on the driver's side last. He said that he would jump out of the back of the U-Haul on the right side, and I would follow him with a flashlight, and he would climb into the front of the truck. I was to follow him and lock my door behind me. He said we were going to find somewhere else to sleep at that point. I was not about to disagree with him, animal or not. He jumped out of the U-Haul, and I followed. The night felt oppressive, and all the hairs on my body stood up. I could tell that we were being watched by something, and it felt very wrong. I swung my flashlight around in the dark, but it illuminated almost nothing. I quickly jumped in behind Austin and locked the door. We drove quickly out of that spot, deeper into the woods. We were both very shaken. In all my time in the woods, I've never felt something was wrong like that. I'm not sure deeper in the woods is the answer here, but let's see how it turns out. We drive a little over 2 miles into the woods and find another turnoff. This one looks better than the last one. It's pulled further into the woods. It seems more secluded. The pull-off looks like a driveway, and there's a path that leads further into the woods. The path is blocked by a single large stone in the center, clearly to deter people from driving further in. Austin and I get out of the truck with our flashlights, go take a look around the area, and the woods felt much friendlier here. And once we establish that we don't see anything out of the ordinary, we're not getting any more bad vibes, we set up the truck again and get ready to eat dinner. I'm still feeling kind of spooked about the whole ordeal in the last spot, so I'm talking to him about it. Just as we were getting comfortable, from the upper back left-hand corner comes a loud, sickeningly disturbing humming sound. It sounded like a person was outside humming from a higher pitch to a low tone, and it ended in the same growling, vibrating, menacing hum that we had heard before, only this time it was louder and more intense than we had heard on the right outside the U-Haul. I get hit with the worst gut feeling I have ever felt in my life. I look at Austin and I whisper, "Holy, we are being hunted." I was absolutely terrified, and it was a group of people outside our truck playing some trick game on us, and even more so because there wasn't even a remote trace of a cell signal where we camped. I know if I dial 911, it will go through no matter if you have service, so I pulled 911 up on my phone and I held it in my hand. I was getting ready to press the call button. The noise happened again, this time directly across from me where I am sitting, low to the ground, like it knows that I'm afraid, and it knows that I'm sitting right there. I look at Austin, ready to press the call, but he makes a strange face and whispers, "I think it's the truck. I think it's somehow a mechanical issue." And I'll be honest, I didn't buy into that explanation one bit. He doesn't have any idea as to what on the truck might be making that noise, but he explains that he thinks it's impossible that something followed us that far back into the woods. I want to believe him, but we hear the sound again and I'm overwhelmed with terror. I am certain that it sounds too dynamic and intelligent. It is not a mechanical issue. And despite his best efforts, I can tell Austin is also very freaked out. I get the overwhelming feeling that we should leave these woods. and that it's wrong to be here. When the noises stop for a moment, he tells me that he will be leaving the back of the truck in the exact way as before, back to back with my flashlight trained behind him on the woods. He gets out first, flashlight and protective object in hand, and I quickly follow, moving my flashlight beam into the tree line around the side of the driveway-esque pull-off we had parked in. I did not see anything, but the woods were too quiet and I knew we were being watched. The feeling was overwhelming, and the sense that something big was out there playing with us. And we locked our car doors, we sped away from the pull-off, and I see to the right where we parked there are two wooden sticks very similar to one hammered into the ground at the last pull-off. These, however, were hammered into the ground in the shape of an X. I remember that humming noise outside the U-Haul never ever interrupted either Austin or I while we were whispering to each other. Sorry, it was kind of hard to read for me for some reason. Not only that, but it seemed to listen for when we were talking about it, almost like it was responding from outside the truck. We decided we don't want to sleep in the woods and we're going back to town. Go to part 3. So, what do you guys think about this one? We're only on part 2 out of 3. So, make sure you've watched both parts and you have the full story. They are really creeped out and they got to be really tired by this time, you know. She didn't allude to what time we're now at, but like it's got to be late and they've got to be tired, and you know, like you don't go camping to go back into town and sleep in a parking lot. You just don't. So something definitely has shaken them to the core, it seems like, when they're experiencing this story. So, not sure what I think it is yet because we haven't actually seen anything, but we're hearing odd noises. And I'm kind of not getting like a spirit, like a ghost. I mean, I'm thinking this falls more into a cryptid category. Maybe Bigfoot? What do you think? Could be something alien related or another dimension or something. What are your thoughts? What are your ideas? Drop them in the comments. Thanks for watching, and make sure to look for part 3. I'm going to go ahead and do that for you next here, so we wrap this one up. And please repost these videos so other people can see them. Please do all the things on the right for me, you know, like them, comment. I like your feedback, so please do that. Thanks, guys. You have a wonderful day.